This is an orthokeratology case where the lens is decentering inferiorly, and this is leading to suboptimal vision for the patient. The patient has worn lenses for a few years, but this sounds like this is a more recent problem. What's interesting is if we look at the picture you submitted, the lens on the eye with the eye open actually fits really well. You're getting very good centration, and it doesn't look like you're using a hand to push the lens up or anything. So with the eye open, the lens fits really well, but with the eye closed, it's dropping downward. So, and we had discussed a little bit before about corneal scleral lenses, and I think this would be a good case to try a larger diameter lens. Those lenses won't move nearly as much whether the eye is open or closed, and it could very well push that treatment zone back to the center where we want it to be. Otherwise, generally with a downward decentration of the lens, I would recommend flattening the periphery of it and see if that, along with the lid, would draw it up a little bit. So if I bring up the lens that the patient is wearing right now, it's in free form, and the patient also has a little bit of against the rule residual refraction. And to flatten this lens, I think a good strategy would be just to do it in the vertical meridian. So I'm going to go to 50%, and we want to pop this landing zone off the cornea by about, let's see how much clearance we have here, about 1.5, so about 8.5 microns. So we just go up. We're right around 8.5 microns off the line, and then since you're in freeform, we do the same thing in the inferior quadrant. And we're about 8.5. So this lens, superiorly and inferiorly, will be a little bit flatter, but we maintain the same bearing relationship horizontally. This may cause the lens to rock vertically a little bit, but if we're getting against the rule over refraction, then that potentially could induce a little bit of cylinder with the rule to possibly make the vision a little bit better. So that's one strategy. The other one, I think, which would probably work pretty well, is going to a large diameter lens. But of course, you have to consider whether or not that's most appropriate for this particular patient based on age and ability to handle the lens and all those other factors with corneal scleral lenses. The other thing I would do with this lens is probably thin out the edge a little bit and just make it the same as the center thickness and see if that lens won't more easily slip up. It's quite possible that this patient just has a stronger Bell's reflex with the eye closed, the eye is moving up, the lens is staying down, and then the patient's waking up with inferiorly decentered treatment zone. So thin the edge, see if the lens will follow the eye upward a little bit more, flattening the vertical meridian, or considering going to a CS corneal scleral lens. I think all those are pretty reasonable strategies. So best of luck with this patient. Thanks for watching.